Alright guys, let's go for another match in the color blue playing as the Abbasid Dynasty. It is KS. And in the color red playing as the Chinese, his signature civilization, it is Crackety here. Welcome everybody to another casted game. Actually, I did change the colors because it is teal and blue, so I will change to Crackety to red, just so that, you know, some colorblind people can actually see what's going on. It's not even hard for me. It's even hard for me when there are too many things going on and they are kind of like the same color like this. It's kind of obvious, but at the same time, it's like, let's just leave it at red for now. And the problem with that is that I cannot change the perspective. So if I want to see what KS is looking, I cannot really change the perspective. Otherwise, it will change the color here. So let's just keep it at KS for now, and let's see what's. Look, hopefully, we don't need to change the perspective, but it is something that I really don't like. I hope developers really update the observer mode, and you know, new update coming soon, and nothing has been said about the observer mode. Like nothing, no updates or whatsoever. And we're not even talking about like improvements or anything. We're talking about fixing bugs like this. We're talking about fixing, for example, the Japanese upgrades. They don't show in the UI. You know, what the player have scouted when you change the player's perspective. For example, I take a look at his point of view with the fog of war. Like, if I change his perspective, like, then I won't be able to see what he has scouted before. So it kind of like gets erased in history. And, you know, that's something like... It is really important. It is really important because there's more information we can give when we observe the game and you actually change to the other player's view. It's like... what you have scouted and you have not scouted is actually very important in this game. Scouting is one of the biggest feature in this game because you can actually react to what your opponent is doing. So anyway, economic win coming from KS. I don't know why I'm not surprised anymore. It's just the way it is now. It's just the way it is. And guess what? Abbasid is not getting any updates soon. So this is gonna stay like this for a while, to be honest. It's gonna stay like that. At least in the patch notes, they didn't say anything about Abbasid. Looks like it's like a recent issue. They buff a little bit too much the economic wing. I agree that economic wing was also left behind in the Feudal Age and had very little use as well. So it's a delicate balance. It's a delicate balance. I will just, for me, I will reduce the percentage, or maybe just change the Golden Age for Golden Age tier 1. That's a very good upgrade. Maybe can change to tier 2. That will make much sense. Otherwise, Abbasid is just very strong in the Feudal Age. But anyway, Crackety playing the Chinese. Considering that he's playing against Abbasid, I don't think he's gonna go for a second town center. I think he's just gonna get a Barbican and sorry, what am I talking about? I don't think he's gonna stay in one town center. He's gonna go for multiple town centers. The question is how many. I think 2 is already very good for China, but against Abbasid, probably you want to be a little bit greedy because they might go for 2 or 3 against China, even 4 sometimes. So, like in that case, you may think about a Tribune push. That's also an option. You know, with Abbasid, they are very exposed at the beginning. So actually with the Chinese and making a big tribune push could potentially work here. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. But we will see. KS are already there with plenty of villagers on the stone. Gonna be gathering. Actually has enough to get that town center already. Gonna put it in the back of the base, very safe. Next to the stone, so this pretty much tells to me that he's gonna go for a third town center, most likely. Considering China is gonna go for a second town center, and they will be in the Song Dynasty. They will be in the Song Dynasty soon. So is like all the villagers will be like 15 seconds. So I don't know if it equals to 3 town centers. I think so. I'm not really sure. I'm not really good at math. And the worst thing is that I'm an engineer. Like by trade. I literally have a paper that says I'm an engineer. And I cannot do this math. Like, I think I got burned out of doing math a lot. It's one of those subjects that it's only useful in very specific cases. Most of the time, you learn math and it's completely useless. You might as well learn to play Age of Empires, man. I honestly, like that's probably more use cases than you will find with a lot of complex theory on math. What does math do? It's develop your brain for a more logical thinking, I guess. But guess what? Age of Empires does the same, and in a more fun way. Well, anyway, math is not going anywhere because we still need scientists to make the world we have today. Alright, so Crackety, already there with the Barbican. Next to the berries and the deer. Not a bad spot. To be honest, that's the best you can get in his situation. It's like... Actually, a couple of berry bushes and the deer. Actually, very good spot. I don't think it's just good. It's just very good. Town center next to the Barbican just to extra secure the defenses. Meanwhile, Abbasid, you go for 2 town centers, I go 3. Are we gonna see a 4th one? You know what? I think we will. I think we will see a 4th one. This is gonna be a 4th town center coming for the Abbasid. And then the question is, are we gonna see a 3rd one from the Chinese? That's a real question. Excuse me, sheep. There you go. Looks like he's just mining stone just to have some emplacements. I don't think he's gonna go for a 3rd town center as the Chinese. You can get away with going for, oh my god, 4 town centers with Abbasid because your food is cheaper. Your villager production is cheaper. You can just get those villagers for 32 food instead of 50. That's a huge discount, especially the more town centers you have, the more food you save. So it's easier for you to go for those, extra town centers as Abbasid, especially because your farms are cheaper. So you don't need to worry about the food that much. You can just make farms and that's it. Meanwhile, China needs to play a little bit different. And this is why playing Chinese is much harder than playing Abbasid. You need to start planning for the future, secure your food resources, walling, thinking about where are you going to put your farms, your granaries, and your transition needs to be smooth, although it's not very easy to make it smooth. That's what makes a good Chinese player, like making a really smooth farm transition, thinking about all those things. It's about thinking about the future, really, because that's where your strength comes from. There you go. 4 town centers for the Abbasid. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. You don't see that every day. If you're already sitting here, I don't know where you watch this from. I don't know if it's TV, phone, whatever. I highly recommend you to grab something to drink, something you like to drink. I don't know what. For me, it's Coke. Some soda here. I love it. I know it's bad for your health. I still drink it from time to time. I drink it much less now, especially because in China they changed the sugar. Everything is like has less sugar, and it doesn't taste the same, And if, like my friend says, if you're gonna do something bad, do it right. I'm gonna drink Coke, I'm gonna drink a very tasty one, not just a simple one. But anyway, water is fine for now. Meanwhile, Abbasid starting to think about the future. Couple of barracks, and Crackety already aging up. Now he didn't go for extra town centers. This is wild. Like you can see, it's 58 village. Look at the villager count. How fast it goes for both players. He decided, you know what? I'm gonna stay in 2 town centers, but I'm gonna go castle sooner than you. And potentially, can as well grab the relics, because relics are gonna be important in this type of game. Because we're thinking about the late game here, or a potential like super heavy castle push. But if that doesn't work, you need to go to the late game, and relics are just gonna be really good for you. And if you think about it that way, I don't know if Crackety already have a monastery. There you go. He knows he's really important. He's gonna be behind on villagers for some time, but he's gonna be doing all right. Like I said, the biggest threat for the Chinese is gonna be the food. It's gonna be the food for sure. Farm transition is not as smooth as the Abbasid. Look at the Abbasid. I'm sure he has some farms here. Never mind. It's like, you know what? Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the income per minute. Walls coming up for the Abbasid as well, just to be sure. And Palace Guards are coming as well. Palace Guards just gonna be raiding from right to left, from the left to the right. One of the best units for the Chinese. And Abbasid already have a unit that is very annoying for any kind of man at arms. It is the Camel Archer. That's right. Camel Archer, extremely annoying unit because of this. Just kite attack, and you will lose your mass eventually. So never go man at arms against Abbasid. Palace Guards, it's another type of man at arms. They're really fast. And I don't know at what point Crackety will do the switch to Yuan Dynasty, but these guys will be really fast. And the way late game works for China, they just have a lot of Palace Guards. And because they're, you know, they're like horsemen in a way. They're like mini knights, and they're cheaper. You can just send hundreds of them to your opponent's base in the late game and just raid every single villager that your opponent has. That's usually how China plays in the late game. That's why you need stone walls against China. Not this type of wall. Talking about walls, it's gonna get nerfed next season. So it's gonna be really interesting to see people trying to wall. Just really, like, a wall is gonna be a very expensive resource. Not only, it's not about the cost, it's about the villager. It's gonna take longer to build those walls. Instead of 4 seconds, it's gonna be 8 for each wall. So it's gonna be considerably, you know, slower. Meanwhile, Imperial Palace coming here. Crackety, not really. You know what, Song Dynasty? I don't care about Song Dynasty. You know what? We're fine with 74 villagers. We need to do something now. We just need to do something now. Now, what Song Dynasty, what Yuan Dynasty actually will give to Crackety, we haven't talked about, is the pagodas. The pagodas are extremely good unit. Extremely good building. Considering he already have 3 relics, 1 more coming soon. This one looks like it's not gonna happen, but who knows? Maybe this monk gets alive, and it looks like Abbasid is not gonna get any relic for himself. And pagodas will actually give plenty of resources for each relic. It's about 100 gold, 72 food, 72 wood, and 25 stone every 60 seconds. Instead of, you know, just I think it's like 70 something gold for each one of those. So instead of having more villagers, how about let's have some passive income? And I'm all up for it. Especially with 3 relics already there, guarantees you that you will use your pagodas to the maximum value. Because you can only build 3 of them. And looks like a 5th one it's gonna go for Crackety. Meanwhile, KS already there with plenty of production buildings. 13 of them. Double blacksmith, gonna get everything here, and it's gonna be flooding some units very, very soon. And he's already 110 villagers at the 40-minute mark. That's really scary, to be honest. That's really scary. Meanwhile, this guy here is like, he's thinking ahead. He's thinking about the future. He's thinking about the passive income. And guess what? He's gonna have it. He's gonna have it. He's gonna have plenty of passive income. I don't know if Let me know in the comments below. Do you know if tight barns affect the pagodas or just the monasteries? I'm not really sure. That's what I want to check. According to this, if I'm good at reading, I can understand that only the relics here are gonna actually give extra resources, not in the pagoda. So things are getting really interesting for China, to be honest, in the passive income department. Abbasid, on the other hand, I cannot say the same. Meanwhile, having a very good economy. Look at the food economy. And the villager count is very, very massive at this point. They don't have any passive income. And while there are very good late game Civ, China is as well. Especially because they have taxes, they have pagodas, and they have with 5 relics on your side, you're gonna be having a great time. Now, Kraken is suffering from success here. Too much gold, and doesn't know where to expend the gold. Meanwhile, Nest of Bees trying to take down those crossbows on the back, and our first engagement here happens. It's gonna be Gulams tanking. I already have bootcamp on these bad boys. Meanwhile, the Sprinkles. This is not the right patch, Crackety. This is not the right patch. Sprinkles do not work as an AoE 2. Meanwhile, Nest of Bees is still alive. Crackety managed to clean this up very, very easily with a couple of Nests of Bees. Third one coming here, gonna be careful not to lose that one. Meanwhile, farm transition is starting to happen for Crackety. But this is where things are gonna slow down for him. Because Crackety needs farms. And KS is just pumping units. It's pumping Gulams, it's pumping crossbows. Now Crackety did a really good job at defending here. And the good thing is, Imperial Palace. I don't know, I know we won't change the perspective, but let's take a look how much vision it gave. There you go. Get back to the red color. There you go. It actually gives you the ability to check where your villagers are. This is extremely useful. Extremely useful. This is one of the landmarks that actually sealed the deal for me to like, actually want to play China. Just because it's just so cool to be able to see where the villagers are. Very, very cool mechanic. This guy working overtime. Classic Chinese. Now the bad thing is Crackety has the town center in the front. And he cannot afford to lose many villagers. If he loses this town center, he will be back to 1. I don't see a third town center coming for Crackety. Meanwhile, the Abbasid player, well, he can afford to lose villagers, to be honest. He does have 4 town centers, and if he loses one, another one will come really soon. In like 5 seconds? I don't know, I'm not really good at math, but Crackety cannot afford to lose villagers as much as the Abbasid player. Meanwhile, KS already there. Gonna go for another raid. He's gonna be attacking on 2 sides. Gonna go for the farms and also gonna go for the east side. Now the east side has a lot of crossbows and Nest of Bees, so he's gonna be forcing KS to go back. Cultural Wing coming as well for KS. Definitely what you need. At this point, with such a good economy, I have learned the hard way that you just go Imperial Age. You don't want to fight in a Castle Age. You have such a good economy, might as well upgrade everyone. So just try to distract your opponent, try to raid from here and there, go to Imperial Age, have a blast. Outpost is gonna get reinforcements here. And comes to a point where you really need to start securing resources. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard when the opponent has a lot of army around your base and you want to secure some resources. Like this big gold vein is already denied for Crackety, unfortunately, and he needs to deal with that. The problem, if he goes with his army, KS is just gonna go there, attack right here in the front. He knows his army is here. You are free to go to the front line So you need to deal with this somehow. Maybe, there you go, Palace Guards going there to deal with this. There are gonna be a bunch of Palace Guards going down, unfortunately. This reinforced outpost. Never mind, it's actually going pretty fast. Meanwhile, Crockett, plenty of gold coming for him. Meanwhile, more camels coming for the Abbasid. This looks like we're gonna have a big switch to camel raiders. Where are KS units? There you go. This is not the whole units. There you go. Camel riders already here, and Abbasid already in the Imperial Age. Let's see what upgrades he gets first. Probably Preservation of Knowledge is the first one you want to get. Those upgrades in the Imperial Age are very, very expensive. We're not gonna see a trade coming for the Abbasid. Meanwhile, another outpost here, delay Crockett to go for the next gold vein. Good thing he still has some gold in the back. Plenty of gold, 3,000. Keep already here, protect those farms. Second keep here, another keep, if you know what I mean. Nest of bees. Gonna be dealing with any kind of harassment at this point. Sneaky walls coming here just to deny Crockett from finishing this wall. Just keep in mind, these units are really fast. They are in the UN Dynasty. So Crockett does have a lot of mobility. Especially with those Palace Guards, this is what I mean. These Palace Guards are just gonna go there and raid. And this is exactly like what he wants to do. Is like, you're gonna go to Imperial Age, I need to do some damage before you get some upgrades. Now Crockett just finished his farm transition, but he's not really close to going to Imperial Age. Meanwhile, Palace Guards already arrived, gonna be taking down a handful of villagers. I wonder if we're gonna see the upgrade where villagers have like 1000 HP. Camel Riders are already there. Imperial Age. Elite Camel Riders coming soon. I'm gonna see the... There you go. Very, very strong unit. Very, very strong unit. Crockett in a very, very tough spot. He's gonna be rushing to get that Great Wall Gatehouse next to his food economy. The problem with the Great Wall Gatehouse is you cannot really rush it. Isn't this just a Great Wall Gatehouse? I think it's just a wall. Now, the good thing about the Chinese keep is that it's really good. It's very, very good. At the same time, more Palace Guards causing some trouble here in the Abbasid economy. At the same time, crossbows taking down a lot of villagers. Remember, Crockett is only on 2 town centers. Nest of bees gonna be taking down those crossbows just like nothing. Just one shot, one kill. That's all you need. Meanwhile, more Palace Guards just gonna be raiding everyone. Now, the good thing is Crockett can spam a lot of Palace Guards. Like, a lot. Gold is pretty much infinite for him at this point. He has taxes, and he has pagodas, and he has 5 relics. So he can just send man-at-arms the whole time, and he will never run out of resources. Never, never, ever again. Meanwhile, Grey Wall Gatehouse coming here just to protect the farm economy. And with that, his food is pretty safe for now. It's very, very safe. Meanwhile, more Palace Guards are gonna be taking down quite a lot of villages. Pretty much equal villager kill for both players. Now the Abbasid thinking about getting that trade going. Crockett spots that out. He knows his opponent will be trading. And now Crockett reaches Imperial Age. Immediately upgrades those Palace Guards. Extra health. Elite Palace Guards. Grease Axles. And as well as extra range for the hand cannoneers. Holy crap, it's 1.5 range. I thought it was like 0.5 like the Delhi. No wonder hand cannoneers for the Chinese are the best hand cannoneers in the game. Not only that, you know, I don't know if you know about this, but Chinese don't need to research chemistry. They already have that upgrade passively. Just like the Holy Roman Empire has the marching drills, Chinese have the chemistry upgrade for free. And now elite golems going as well. No elite army tactics yet. And camels just have so much HP, and even without biology, 320. I believe they can have like 380 maybe, or 300. I don't know, almost 400 HP for each camel. It's really annoying. Meanwhile, Kraggedy gonna lose access to this gold. Now, not a big deal for him, but you still don't wanna lose access to the gold that you have. It's just not a good spot. And looks like Abbasid is just gonna stick to the melee only composition. Just pure fist fights here. At the same time, biology just kicks in, and these camels have 384 HP. But this, it doesn't matter how much HP you have. If there is 4 nests of bees shooting at you, you're gonna going down. Meanwhile, Kraggedy will try to finish that wall. At this point, you may think about getting some stone walls. Those raids are just gonna... There you go. Stone walls coming for the Abbasid. He knows those palace guards are just gonna raid the hell out of the Abbasid economy. More palace guards coming here. And unfortunately, this fight is under the cannon emplacement, so I'm gonna be shooting. Probably target firing a lot of those crossbow units. There you go. It's gonna be a cleanup here. Meanwhile, Kraggedy here going from the right, gonna cause some damage. And the trade has started. With how many traders you have in the Imperial Age? He said, yes, sir. 20. Holy crap. 23 traders just right away. Now, Kraggedy already have a mission. He needs to stop the trade from the Abbasid. You know, trade is going, and he doesn't have access to relics. So he doesn't have any kind of passive income. Unlike Kraggedy, he can stay without trade for a while, because he does have a lot of passive income coming from those taxes and on those relics. So he knows he just needs to stop the trade. We already have plenty of units here. Traders gonna be going down. That's a juicy line of traders that, if get spotted, will be a huge loss for the Abbasid. Abbasid doesn't have gold, unfortunately, and Kraggedy will just keep pumping these guys who are just gonna run to the other side of the base. Meanwhile, no stone walls here, so you gotta be careful here. Never underestimate how fast palace guards can arrive to your base and how tanky they are. Elite army tactics coming as well. And looks like KS will clean this up. Meanwhile, more palace guards going pretty much everywhere. A palace guard, not the best unit to deal with those camel riders. But you have infinite palace guards. And Gulams came just to show off who's the real man at arms. They are much stronger. Much stronger. More armor. Especially with the camel support. We have camel support. Where is the... Oh, we do have camel support. So these units are gonna be extremely tanky. Imari Ironclad for English. But for the Abbasid. That's how good this camel support is. Hand Cannoneers. Quite a lot of DPS, to be honest. Almost one shot on Camel Rider. I say almost, pretty much one shot Camel Rider. It's like Kraggedy. As long as he masses a good mass of Hand Cannoneers, I think he can win some fights. Because Palace Guards are just gonna be not enough. Hand Cannoneers are just gonna be the hero of the game here. Just because of their high DPS and their range attack. Meanwhile, ancient techniques coming for Kraggedy. Researching each 5%, 4% for each dynasty achieved. I don't think Kraggedy is gonna change the Yuan dynasty for the Ming dynasty one. Just because of the move speed, it gives you so much flexibility. I don't think extra health will actually work for you. Meanwhile, a lot of camel riders coming here. These are really premium units, to be honest. Very premium. But Crockett is just gonna be really annoying with those palace guards. So Crockett army is on the west. At the same time, Camel Riders joining the party here. Now, they don't have much range armor, but they do have plenty of HP and they move really fast. Looks like he will have to pull back for now. Now, the problem with the Abbasid now is that he has a lot of villagers. And, you know, having a lot of villagers pretty much means that you have less army. And it's okay for a while when you want to gather all the resources. But all the resources are pretty much gathered. Gold is finished here. You don't need as many villagers, especially with the Abbasid. Because your gathering rate is higher, you can basically have less villagers, have the same economy as a regular civ. A Chinese doesn't get behind. There's a huge army coming from Kraggedy here. 39 palace guards, 38 palace guards on queue. And you know what's the funny thing? He does have the Imperial Palace. He knows where all the villagers, all the traders are. Trade has to stop for now, which means the Abbasid won't have access to gold now. Meanwhile, Kraggedy will finish the gold vein soon. Probably thinking about trading as well in the future. Not really necessary. It will be nice to have. It's like a nice to have, but not really necessary. Meanwhile, Kraggedy going here. Look at this cinematic shot. Delivered for you guys. It's a cinematic shot. That's what you need. That's what you need. Palace guards in the front line. Nest of Beasts doing a lot of DPS on the back. Hand Cannoneers making sure those Nest of Beasts don't die. Looks like this Camel Riders are just gonna try to snipe the siege, but the Hand Cannoneers have a lot of DPS and a lot of range, so they're gonna be taking those very, very fast. Let's take a look at the numbers here. Still plenty of army for the Abbasid. Ghulams and Hand Cannoneers. Now remember, they do have camel support, so they are tanky as hell. Looks like Kraggedy will lose this one, but this was a good attack coming from him. This was a very, very good attack. Looks like he's preparing for going for another wave. Ram's gonna be taking down this outpost, and stone walls are pretty much secure here. This is why you want to have stone walls against the Chinese. Otherwise you have things like this where... And there you go. KS already learned the lesson. Stone walls coming soon. Now Ram's coming for Kraggedy. A couple of bombards as well. So I guess will be my chopping wood on the other side of the map. Bombard gonna be taking down this keep. Gates going down, and with that, a lot of Hand Cannoneers join the party as well. Man at Arms gonna be tanking the damage. Hand Cannoneers doing a lot of DPS. At the same time, Kraggedy is dealing with that keep. Managed to take down that keep. Needs to take down this outpost. At the same time, is Kraggedy thinking of a sacred side victory? And potentially go for one. If you deny this area, you just need to take down the keep. And no emplacements in this keep, so it's not gonna be that scary. Meanwhile, there's a lot of Hand Cannoneers from the Abbasid, but just remember, Hand Cannoneers from Abbasid are not as good as Hand Cannoneers from the Chinese. So they do have way more attack range, 5.5. Meanwhile, this one has 4. So it's quite a big difference. It's quite a big difference. He has chemistry. He does have chemistry. Elite Army Tactics coming soon as well. Will have been really good before with those Ghulams. Looks like the keep will survive for now. Camel Raiders gonna be taking down those palace guards. Need to close the gate here, otherwise a lot of palace guards will just go through your base now. Looks like Abbasid start trading again. selecting wood as an extra resource. House of Wisdom, more like a industrial revolution. No composite bows or medical centers. But he has pretty much everything, especially this upgrade here. 129 HP for a villager. This is a chat right here. This guy hits the gym. Look at this. This guy is not afraid of anything. He never skipped the gym day. These guys are not afraid of anything. Plenty of HP for those villagers. Looks like this skip may potentially go down. A couple of rams are coming soon. At the same time, an attempt to raid Crockety's base has been stopped by stone walls. And hand cannoneers will have extra tiles range, 7.5 tiles range. That's like a longbow, right? Oh my god. Well, Crockety probably he's thinking about a sacred side victory. It's the best you can do in these situations in the, in the late game. If you deny the trade, you're in a really good spot. Crockett is killing a lot of traders here. You're talking about 167 villagers down. Villagers and traders. A good thing that they do have a lot of armor, but not as good. I mean, if you raid with hand cannoneers, no armor will help you. Ram's gonna be pushing into the Abbasid base. Let's take a look at KS point of view. You can really see he's struggling here. And all the traders dying before they reach the trade post. And you can see the gold from KS is really not that high. Crockett is doing a really good job at denying the trade. Meanwhile, another raid happening here. But stone walls are already in place. You can actually go through the front door. Now, another winning condition is actually take down the House of Wisdom. Now, this thing has a lot of HP. 22,000. So, it's not that easy to take down. But they are usually very close to the main town center. So you can potentially snipe those two with a lot of bombards. Or just all in into the Abbasid base. That's their biggest weakness. They only have 2 landmarks. And they're very close to each other. Meanwhile, doing a landmark snipe for the Chinese, not the easiest thing to do. There are plenty of landmarks here. Plenty of landmarks. Meanwhile, Crockety, is he mining gold? No gold at all. 1.3k gold a minute. Just from passive gold. I mean, keep in mind, this is not only relics, this is also taxes that are happening here. And I'm sure all these Imperial officials are just collecting taxes because there's nothing to supervise at this point. Meanwhile, Rams gonna be taking down the market. 31 traders just like that. 4 is still alive and kicking. Meanwhile, hand cannoneers gonna pull back for now. Look at how fast these guys are. He's taking down a lot of traders. And look at the economy for KS. Look at the economy of Crockety compared to the one from KS. It's just really... It's not comparable. You can see he's struggling. And Chinese hand cannoneers are just doing so much DPS. So much DPS. I wouldn't be surprised if Crockety sends a priest here. Can have a potential sacred side victory as well. But you know what? KS already lost quite a lot of villagers. And he doesn't have the option to make another trade. He needs to deal with this. And at the same time, he doesn't have the resources to build army. Look at his army. He's back to 19 military units. And Crockett is just camping this area. And that's it. KS taps out. Well played by these two players. Amazing Imperial Age from both of the best Imperial Age civilizations in this game.